How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just opening up the one of the spreadsheets we were working on before. One of the last times here, where this is not too long ago, we were working on the regular expression. Regexes, right? Exactly. And I just thought I'd open it up because I want to talk about what we want to do today. We were kind of saying what we were kind of imagining. We're essentially building a calculator for vectors. You know, just like a calculator shows you the answer of numbers, we want to see the answer in two-dimensional space. So we kind of worked out a, I guess kind of what we call like a command line for vectors. And we have a couple commands that we already have support for. We have, you know, whatever vector name. You know, my vector name.
Color, right?
What'd you say?
Vector set color.
Yeah, so we have something like, I'm going to use the word my here to indicate that I can name this anything. So we've got my vector equals, right? Isn't that right? And then we do like 1, 2, 3, or we can optionally add in, you know, something else, 4, 5, 6. So if we just do it like this, it'll point.
2, 1, 2, 3.
Points to 1, 2, 3.
But if we do it the other way, it will go from 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6.
Right, exactly. That's what I believe happens as well. Oops. Okay. And then the other option is this 1, 2, 3 to that. Now, we have a pretty flexible syntax. That goes from 1, 2, 3 to 4, 5, 6. Now, we use spaces because it's easier to type in spaces, but we can also use commas to separate.
We can also use parentheses.
Right, we did all of that. We created a regular expression that can find us the important data we need from all that. Okay?
However, our syntax doesn't support 1, 2, 3, space, 4, 5, 6.
Right, it does not. And I'm okay with that. Because, I don't know, that's like 6 numbers to go out, and I really felt like we needed something to indicate it goes from one to another. I thought that was not a bad way to do it. My vector could be like A or B or something like that. That's what we've done. We also have a.color equals some hex code, like FFF to be white or F00 to be red. We can do 3-digit or 6-digit colors.
Yes.
We learned a little bit about those. Those are HTML colors. So that's what we're doing now.
And then another thing we might want to do, I think I mentioned this on the last show, is we might want to be able to do a.color equals red, or a.color equals black, or a.color equals white. So that like we just have to type in the word and then it will substitute the hex code.
Agreed.
Or a.color equals blue. Some of just basic colors.
Today, I want to get to something that looks like this. I'm going to write down what you just said. A.color equals, you know, like red.
Yeah. And then also you said A plus B, or C equals A plus B, to set.
Hold on, I want to do this. This is going to blow your mind. I want to be able to say red is equal to F00. And then I want to say A.color is equal to red. I want the program to learn from the colors. We'll give it some defaults at the beginning, but you'll be able to create your own favorite colors and give it your color a name and then assign the name to the color.
Okay.
Cool?
Yeah.
All right. I want to be able to say well, let's do this instead. Let's say C, stop uppercasing, is equal to A plus B.
And then also just A plus B, and then we add B to the end of A.
Yeah, so I'm thinking if I say A plus B, I want B to start at the end of A. That's what I want there. So I want to be able to type these kinds of things into our command line and have things work. I'm thinking about if I would type in 3 times A, A's length to increase by 3. If I say, and I'm not sure about this one, to be honest. I'm thinking about it. If I say A is equal to 4 times B, I don't want B's length to increase. I just want A to become 4 times B.
Oh, in the same direction?
Yeah, A would start where B is and then become 4 times as long as B. That's what I want to have happen there. And then I want to be able to say hide A,
and show,
delete A, and show A. That's what I want to do.
Okay.
What do you think?
So for the A is equal to 4B, would A just go in the same direction from wherever B starts?
Yeah.
Just
so,
4 times as long?
Yep.
So if I have A is equal to 1, 2, 3, and B is equal to -1, -2, -3, then would A go? Would A turn to negative?
A would lose all of its settings.
Okay, so it would just become B but longer?
Right. C would lose all of its settings, or if it didn't exist, it would be created, and then become the sum of A plus B. This is going to create a single vector.
From the origin of A to the endpoint of B.
Right. From origin, I don't know if origin's the right word, but the tail, the end tail, right, of A to from the tail of A to the head of B. That's what's going to happen. It's a little bit like what we've shown here. So if we say A plus B, then we're going to get this. They're going to line up like this.
Mm-hmm.
If we say B plus A, then they're going to line up like this. And wherever the endpoint is, we're going to just move the tail, the tail to that spot. If we say A equals 1 plus the other, then we're going to come back, with something like this, a full one that sums up both of them. So that's kind of what we're looking at. All right, can we start the? Can you open up and start the regex helper app on your machine?
Yes.
Switch over there.
Oops. Oh.
And just run it. So we need to create some regular expressions to match these things that we want to create. So let's do a couple of these. I'm just going to grab them from here, and we're going to paste them in over there where you are. Okay. So that's an example of one we want to match right there. We want to be able to say some sort of color name here, like that, and set it equal to something else. Okay? So we need to get a match on there. So we'll change this to color variable name, or just color name, like that. It's going to have an equals and an optional space. That's not optional. That's not optional. Then over here, we need to get a hex code. We already figured out a hex code before. That's over in the other app. That's in set color. See the hex code right there? We're going to grab, I think,
that. Wait.
All of that.
And then we also want the. Never mind.
Do we want the what?
We want the $, but we can include that afterwards.
Sure. I think so, yeah. So we're going to put that here. And why is it not working? Optional space there. Okay, that's what it is. All right, so here you go. Look down here, the answer, color name, hex code. See it?
Uh-huh.
All right.
Yeah. Oh.
So we're going to be this, call this define color. Okay, copy that to the clipboard. We don't really need to review that code. We kind of know what it does, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so now what that means is I can say blue is equal to RGB, so that means 00F, and there'd be my blue. Okay?
Yeah.
Cool? All
Okay.
right, let's copy that to clipboard. Let's go over to, whoops, not here. We want to go over here. Set color. I think I'm going to just put that class in here. Is what I'm going to do, because otherwise I've got to come over. Unity kind of seems to make it kind of hard to add classes. Well, I don't know. Well, you know what? We'll go ahead and do it the right way.
Create C# script.
Yeah.
And then define color we want it to be.
Yeah. Define color.
Define
Just typing that in for me. Hit enter. And then double click it or to open it up, or enter to open it up maybe. Say reload. All right, so here's define color. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of
paste it.
the set color. Yeah, we just have set color. Notice set colors by itself here doesn't descend from anything. What they give us is something that descends from mono behavior. We don't need that. I'm just going to remove that. I'm going to paste in what we've got, and I'm going to get rid of the regex helper because that's the same every time. Okay?
Uh-huh.
See this right here? Define
Okay.
color create right here. See that? That
Yeah.
one is, that's the sample usage. And we need to hit control dot here to use system.text.regular expressions. We use that
Yes.
library.
Okay.
What are you thinking? Is that what, were you worried
Yeah,
about that?
I was like, oh, we have something. It says that something's wrong in that code.
Okay. Let's go see how we're using set color right now. Just tap the next reference on that and see what, tell me what you get to, what you think about. So this, we don't have to worry about this. This is that generated code. Here's what I wanted to get to. What's happening here?
Well, it's creating a new instance of set color.
Yeah, trying to at least, calling a create method.
Yeah.
Notice this next line is checking to see if it's not null.
Oh.
If it fails, that means it'll come back null.
Okay.
And then
And then?
if it is not null, then it does something with it. So we want to do something very similar to that with define color. In fact, you could select this line down through 126 and duplicate it and change the word set to define, and you would be well on your way to getting closer to where you wanted to be.
And put this at the end here.
No, just right where you were. Just look about where you are. Look at the name of the method you're at. No, not here. Go back over to where we were. When we tapped the next reference on set color, we got, look at the method you're in.
Game logic.
No, the method.
Oh, oops.
What's the name of the method you're in?
Execute command line.
Execute command line. Do you remember when we call that?
No, I don't.
Okay, put the caret in on execute command line. Tap the next reference on that.
Up
Look at line 39.
So if we hit enter and then if the input field is focused.
Yep. We then
So
take
if we're
the text
typing in there,
all the way up to the caret. So remember that code we wrote to get the text all the way up to trim away the last carriage return and ignore everything at the end?
Yes.
And just the line we just typed, see line 44, line we just typed, we call get last line. We then call that. So when we hit enter, inside our command line, we call execute command line.
Okay.
So it's going to execute whatever we just typed in. Go back and look at execute command line. Look at it again. Hit tab to next reference. Hit tab. So what does it try first? Lines 117 through 121 is trying the first time. It's a first try.
So it's checking to see, well, it tries to create a super vector, and if it fails, or if it doesn't fail, then we create or we update the super vector.
So at first we're trying to see if we're typing in something like, it'll switch to my machine. First we're trying to figure out if we're typing in something like this or like that. If it is, we create a super vector. That's what the first line does. Those first lines you were looking at.
Okay.
Okay? Let's go back to your machine. The next set of lines, set color, those take care of, back on my machine, things like that.
Oh.
So if we're going to follow this pattern, we need to extend this method. Let's go back over to your machine. We need to go extend this so it keeps kind of working its way down for all the commands that we can support. Now I kind of want to change something though a little bit. Because, well, yeah. Maybe not. I don't want to change anything. I want to change it just a little bit. I want to change, look, if super vector is not null, I want to go here. But then I think I want to do this. I want to type in LB here and hit the space bar. Go ahead and do that. LB stands for else begin.
Oh, I thought it was else braces.
Yeah, that too. Else braces. And now I want to take this and put it inside. And I want to start doing this kind of nesting thing. Or actually, you know what? Better than nesting, because nesting is hard to read. Instead of nesting, let's just do this. Return. So if we get a match, we're going to return. Does that make sense? So we did it in both of these places. See that? So if we get a super vector, I know it's probably not any of these other ones. I don't want to execute two commands at once. So I'm going to get out. And then if it's set color, I'm going to change the vector color, then I'm going to get out. Now what I want you to do is I want you to select from here to here, and I want you to duplicate that line and change set to define. To duplicate that selection.
To here, 124.
Yep. Yeah.
Shift enter.
And now change set to define color, that new class we just created. Define color. It's already suggested. You can hit enter there. All right. And then change set here to define color.
Define.
Suggested right there.
Yeah.
Good. Hit enter.
Enter.
Okay. Enter. Enter. Now when you get to change vector color, you now want to change this command to being something that says define color. So change the words change vector to define right here. Remember Alt Shift left and right arrow?
Oops.
Alt Shift left and right arrow is your camel case select.
Define.
Define color. Good. Hit enter.
And
now
then,
right here, this is going to be, see what's suggested. It's going to be one of two properties that we created. I think it's color name is what we called it. Hit control space. Color name. Cool? All right.
Yeah.
This
and then
code is
hex
done.
code.
Hex code's the same, I think. All right. Now let's define the define color method.
Okay.
On 133, define it. So control dot on that.
Dot.
Wait, not here, not here. This one's already defined.
Oops.
There's a define color class, but there's a define color method.
Oh,
right
it's this
here.
one, right?
And actually, is this going to work because it's the same name? We probably should give it a different name. Let's just define matching, define color name. I'm going to call it that instead. All right, let's declare define color name.
Okay. Control dot. Declare method.
All right, now here's what I want to do. I want to match up one string with another. Match one string to another. Do you remember any classes we learned about last time? It's not a list, but it's something like a list for holding things and having a lookup to very quickly be able to look up.
Dictionary?
Yeah, it's a dictionary. So I want to have a new dictionary. See that ND, new dictionary of, and I want to have strings indexing strings. So meaning I want to look up with a word and get a different word back. I want to look up the word red and get back the word # 0 FF0000,
Okay.
the HTML code. Okay? A string to string lookup in the dictionary. We're going to call this the color lookup. Lookups, maybe like that. And in here, we're going to use some code. We're going to basically come down and say, hey, look, if we don't contain the key color name, in other words, nobody's added that color yet, okay? If that's the case, then we're going to say color lookups.add the color name and then the hex code. Okay?
Okay.
But if we do contain it in our else, then we can just flat out change its value. And we're going to say color name is equal to hex code. See that?
Okay.
There might be also just a flat out set call, I think, as well. No, I don't see set. All right, we'll do it this way. All right, so if we don't contain the key, we're adding it, and if we do contain the key, we're setting it. So there's only gonna be one match. I can't define red as many, many different kinds of options. Red is only gonna be one, and if I redefine it, it'll have a new color. Okay, does that make sense? Okay, now, next. Okay, that one's done. Right now we're just defining the list of things. That's done. Let's go to the next one on my list. Back over to my machine. So we got this one done. Let's get our checkbox. Do I have a checkbox in here already built? Ooh, I'll take that one right there. Nice blue checkbox. All right. So now, of course, I could also just move this up. What works now? We'll go ahead and just keep it here, show what we've done for the day. All right, that one's done. Next, I need this one, Campbell. A.color equals red.
So some of the default.
Say that again?
Codes. So we need to add some default hex codes for it, right? Or no?
No,
I
need a regular expression that matches that.
Yeah. Okay.
Can you give me that?
I think I can.
You want to start with the one in set color? Because set color, look at set color right up here. Your setcolor.cs file.
Oh.
Look at setcolor.cs. See that? That one matches hex codes. Why don't you grab that pattern?
This one right here?
The pattern up on line 18. Line 18's got your regex. Code generator gave that. Just grab the string. A secret inside there of getting that string is to put the caret inside and use selection increase. Put the caret inside and use selection increase. Just click inside is what I'm saying.
Yes, I know.
Don't use a mouse. So let me show you how much faster and easy it is. Click inside it, and then selection increase is your plus button on the num keypad. Try that.
Or control.
See that?
Yes. Oops.
It's fast that way, and then no mistakes. All right.
But it's already in here, so I don't need to copy it.
Oh, okay. Did you already get it in? I didn't miss that.
It was no.
No. This
here.
is different. This is different. Paste it. This is the one we just did. Hit Control A. You got this right. You copied it right. Okay. All right. Control A and then Control V to paste. Control A select all. Control V to paste. To replace it. Okay, cool. Now you want to type in A.color equals red for your text to test. Just
A.color.
Okay, and now we want to get it to match.
.color. So this is right until.
Yeah, you only have to change the part to the right. You might keep, before you delete that, you might keep where it says hex code. Then you won't have to type that in again, but you want to change hex code to another variable name. Yeah. You need a closing paren before the $sign.
Yeah.
Okay. And then hex, then you need after.
So for here, this will be just color.
I'd say color name. Isn't that what we called it before in define color?
Maybe.
Let's look at what we used in define color and use that. See define color.cs?
Yeah. 1 sec. Just color.
Yeah, it's color name. Look at line 18.
Yeah, I see it. Also, it's down here.
Right, exactly. There you go. All right, cool. So use that so we got the same variable we're using in both places. All right. Now give me something that can match like red or blue or something along those lines.
\W will work, right? Oh, oops. \W. Oh.
You know why it's not matching? Because you're only matching one letter. And you've also got the end of line symbol.
Isn't that word?
What?
Isn't that for word? Isn't that \W for any word?
No, it's any word character is what it is. And by putting the star, now you've had it match 0 or more. That matches 1 or more. Now look at your groups found. See what you've got down below?
Yeah.
A color name is red. Got it?
Okay.
Okay. You want to generate the code. You want to copy the code. Or you give it a name. Give it a name. Not define color anymore. set named color should be the name of this one.
Set
Named. Named
color.
with a D at the end of it. Put a
Oops.
D at the
Oh,
end of
named?
it.
I thought you said named.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, set named color now. Copy that code. Let's go say, okay, create a new script.
Unity.
Call it set named color. Paste that code in.
Create. C# script.
Delete the regex helper. You don't need that once you paste it in.
Set named color. Oops, not hamed. Set named color.
Delete the regex helper at the end. You can use selection increase or and then delete if you want.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
Just, it's okay to, I think it's going to go, yeah, there you go. Take that. All right, good. And then hit Control Dot on one of the squiggly lines above you, right up there, the regex, yeah, and then use.
Yeah. Oops. Control Dot and then using.
Yep. All right, good. Now we've got set named color. Copy that class name to the clipboard. And now go back over to your execute command line.
In game logic.
Yeah. And now let's, grab something and once you get, grab set color actually. Set color is better.
This
Yeah,
here?
do that. Because it's doing the same thing as what we want to do. We want to change the vector color. Oh, I was going to say duplicate it.
Oh, okay. I can do that. I was just gonna copy it and then paste it.
Yeah, it's a little easier if you use CodeRush to do it, because then you can change the names of things a little faster. So change set color to what?
To set named color.
Right.
Named color.
Good. And you change the variable name as well.
Named.
All right, cool. Oops. Hit undo, Control Z.
Oh.
Okay. So now we're going to call vector color, but now what we need to do is figure out the name of it. Is what we need to do. We figure out the hex code, right? So what we need to do now is we need to use that color lookups we had before. So we're going to say if color lookups dot contains key, and what am I going to pass in?
Color name, right?
Right, color name. If it does, I'm going to create a variable here called hex code, like this. Then I'm going to say hex code is equal to, and then we're going to go to color lookups, and then we're going to put in what goes in here, in the brackets.
I'm not sure. Oh wait, is it?
It's that. It's the key. Remember, we're keying. The dictionary key is by strings. We set up a dictionary that gives us strings when we give it strings. So the key is what is inside the brackets. So first check to see if it's got the key, and if it does, then I can come in here. I've set the hex code. Let me embed that in braces, and then we pass it there. Otherwise, if it does not, we should do a debug line. Debug log or debug error. I think there's an error here, isn't there? Log error. And what word are we going to say? We're going to say the color name doesn't exist. It needs to be defined first. It's something to help us out. Like that.
Okay.
And then what goes here?
There it is. Color name, right?
Kind of. It's close. You've got to qualify it with the set name color, because that's
set named color dot color name.
the tool that's from our generated code. So we're going to say that needs to be defined first. Is what we're going to say. So this will come back as red or blue or whatever. We might want to put it in quotes, and to do that inside of a string, we're going to use the escape key.
Backslash.
Yeah, the backslash to escape, and then I think that's all we need to do. So try it now. Let's put a space there, and put an empty line here as well. So we're just kind of grouping these pieces together. And let's try it.
Okie dokie. Okay, so red is equal to enter, and then
So it would actually be cool if it told you, if it spit it out, color is now set to red. That would be kind of cool, so you get some feedback.
okay.
Oh, look out, it's here.
Ah,
Look out, okay, well, hey,
I already took a shower.
me too.
Copperbeardy is in the house.
Copperbeard is in the house.
Okay.
All right, so we've set red equal to F. How you doing, Copperbeardy? F00. A is equal to 1, 2, 3. And now say A dot color equals red.
Equals red.
And these are case sensitive, so we'll have to match the case. Now say A dot color equals blue.
It won't do anything, will it?
No, it won't. But well, actually it will. It'll send a message out. We should see. It says blue needs to be defined first.
Yeah.
Now we can make that message more helpful to say like blue equals, whatever. But there you go. Look at you, Campbell, go.
Do blue, and then
Blue is going to be 0FF.
0FF. Okay.
And don't forget, you can get to an HTML color picker out there. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, it's 00F.
Okay.
I feel like today I'm not speaking. My brain thinks one thing, my mouth says something else. Now it didn't change to blue.
Oh, because we have to do.
We have to re-execute that line of code.
Okay.
Boom. See it? That's not bad.
Yes.
Copperbeard says not not too bad. Hope all is well with you guys.
We might also want to make it so that if you press enter once, it doesn't create the enter thing. But if you do enter, maybe not actually. Maybe not. Yeah. No.
Okay. All right. Well, we can play with that. All right. So we've got that vector out there. Let's go back over to my machine and let's take a look at what we've done so far.
Okie dokie.
Oops. That's the wrong button. That's the right button. Okay. So we've done this and we've done this. Okay.
And now we have to do C is equal to A plus B.
A critical vector from the. I think I want to do this one first.
Okay.
All right. Can you give me a regex to match that?
I can certainly try.
You can try. Let's go look and watch Campbell try to get us a regex. I need names for both the pieces. So you just deleted that. So one of the things that would be really cool. Hit undo a second. See the question mark and then the angle brackets. Mm-hmm. Just remember that you're going to need to, and you're going to need to put parens. Well, actually. This part you can kind of work with already. Let's call this one vector 1, or first vector maybe.
Wait, can I see your screen again
You bet.
for what I need to
You bet.
create this?
I'm looking at this one. I think we're going to A plus B.
Okay.
That's what we're going to match. A plus B. Okay.
Plus
Back to your machine.
B.
Yes, that's what we're looking to match.
So vector 1 and then vector 2. We
Sure,
want
why not?
Here.
I'm okay with that.
Vector 2. So
And instead of the equals,
we want plus.
yeah. Hold on, there's a problem. I think plus is notice it. Wait, undo a second. Notice how the regex looks good, and as soon as you type the plus, watch it. The regex is bad. I think that's because it says nested qualifier, the plus up there. It looks like, I think there's a problem with the plus. We need to escape it. I think plus is a special regex symbol. Oh, of course it is.
Oh, right. One or more.
Yeah, so we need to do that. Okay, so now we have, we're missing optional, are we missing optional spaces? No, optional before, optional after. One or more there. Now this looks actually really good to me. I'm not sure why this is not matching. Let me look more closely at this.
Oops.
Oh, I see it. I see it. You've got a dot color in there.
Oh. Oh. Ooh, ooh, ooh.
So you should delete this last one. There you go. Okay. All right. So now look at the groups found. Found group vector 1 is A, and vector 2 is B.
Okay,
You
so
with me?
copy it. Oh wait, no.
Nope. Give it a good name. This one's going to be.
Add vectors.
I'm going to call this add to tail, or add to
Tail.
position at tail. Maybe we'll call it position at tail. What do you think about that? Add to tail, because it's like it's really the tail goes to the second one. Vector 2 starts at vector 1 position.
The end of vector 1.
Yeah, move to end, move to point, move to vector, point to tail. You can do called point to tail to some degree. It's actually, I don't know, what do you want to call it? Because it's like, it's A is going to be just not going to move at all. And
yeah.
B is going to move to that spot.
I think add vectors is best for that then.
Okay, we're going to have another add vector.
Oh, right.
So we're coming up. Let me show you. We have this one too.
Yeah.
Which is C is equal to A plus B, which is different. This creates
Add
a single
unnamed
vector.
maybe?
I think this is just move vector. Let's call it move vector maybe, or move vector. Oops, it got insert overwrite. Looks like it was hit.
Oop. Oh, well. Got it.
Okay, move vector. Fine, copy that code. Create a new script in Unity.
Oops, that's not what I wanted.
See how the code generator is really paying off now?
Yes.
Right? All of these things that would normally be incredibly complex to do, we're just,
We
knocking
write
them
in
out.
what we want, and then it creates the code for us.
Yeah, yeah. Now you kind of start understanding you're starting to understand the power of tooling. This kind of approach to development is what led to CodeRush being created. Don't forget you got selection increase there. You kill that quickly. Good. Now copy move vector. Copy class name. All right, go to game logic. And now we'll just do our own thing down at the end. I think it's going to be similar to define color though. I think. It's similar to a lot of these. So let's just take that.
And then we want
Move vector, you can paste it in. I think it's on the clipboard, right?
oh, right, yeah.
I think a lot more was on the clipboard. Hit undo, Control Z.
I am.
All right.
Is that all we want to do?
Yeah, just type in move vector. Or go copy move vector to the clipboard. Here the dogs go nuts.
Vector. Yeah, I'm good.
Hold on. Somebody hit undo a second. Because things were linked up and they stopped getting linked up. Let's do this.
Oops.
Let's go back over here. I just want to copy.
Oh, wait,
here?
something.
Okay, I want to undo this too. All right, so I just want to copy this. Copy that to the clipboard. And now I want to duplicate that and paste. Go ahead and do that. Duplicate that.
Shift enter.
And then paste.
Control V.
And hit enter. Call this move vector with a lowercase. Because it's a local. Good. Get down to define color name and call it move vector. Let's call move vector here. And we're going to pass in the two parameters. Delete this one and go with what vector 1 and vector 2, I think. Control space. See them down by the end there? See how it's all working out?
Oops.
Go to hex code. Control shift right arrow should get you out.
It's
There you
fine.
go. And then let's declare move vector.
We should probably rename it to something not move vector, right? Right? Or no?
I'm okay with it having move vector. Oh, because of the move vector 2.
Yeah.
Because it has the same name as the class name. Sure, fine. No, TO.
Okay.
I'm going to say move vector 2.
Oh.
With uppercase T.
Yes, yeah. Delete. Shoot. Control dot. Declare method.
All right, so we've got 2 vectors coming in as names. Okay?
Yes.
We need to turn them into real vectors. Is what we need to do.
So,
somewhere in here, we've got a dictionary of real vectors.
we do?
Pretty sure.
Oh, right.
Or maybe it's a list. It's a list of super vectors. Look at this. Get vector by name. See it?
Yeah.
That gets us to a super vector. Copy that. Let's go back to where we were in move vectors. There, move vector 2. We need to get the actual vectors. Call this super vector 1. And that's going to get vector by name vector 1 like that. See it? Duplicate that line. And then we're going to change to super vector 2 or vector 2. Now we've got 2 super vectors, maybe. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a null check. So we're going to say, hey, if it's equal to null, that means we couldn't find it. We're going to get out of here. So I'll type in B for braces. I'll type in R space to get return. And then I'm going to say DL space to get debug log. Actually, I want to log.
I have a quick question.
Go.
So, when you have an if statement and you're trying to figure out if something isn't null, wouldn't it be that?
With only 1. It's like that.
Yeah,
It's
but
not
why?
even-
Why is it different?
Why is it different? I think to reduce the amount that you have to type in. So
Okay.
the reason it's not a single equals here is because, that
yes,
means
that
assignment.
is when you're assigning it to something.
So we need an extra one to differentiate, but we don't need an extra one to differentiate.
Oh, because
that.
there's never setting it to not equal to.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Make sense? Good question. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to say we can't find vector 1. So we're going to come in and log an error. We're going to do this. And we're going to say, hey, we can't find a vector named
Vector 1.
excuse me. All right, we can't find a vector named that. We're going to do the same thing. Although, you know what? Oops, sorry. Let's just do it here. So we always get that report anytime. And we don't have to do it everywhere instead. I'm going to introduce a local here, call it super vector, and I'm going to come down here and say, hey, if it's null, then I'm going to do what I was doing in the other place. Can't. We're going to report it.
Oh. But with vector 2, not vector 1. Oh.
That. Because look at what the parameters, see?
Oh, yeah.
Right there? Okay, cool. Cool. So that's much better. Now I don't have to do error reporting all over the place. Now I just have a simple return right here. Okay? So I've got if super vector 1 is equal to null, return, and down here I'm going to say if super vector 2 is equal to null, then return.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Next I need to move the vectors. I need to move them. And so now this is where we're going to need some thought right here. If you look at the spec, basically I say for A plus B, I want B to start at the end of A. Okay? Let's refresh our memory. What does a super vector look like? Well, it's got a tail. That's where the tail of the vector is. And it's got X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
So the XYZ, the tail is what we want to move, and we want to move the XYZ. We want to kind of keep the delta XYs and Z's as they are. So we kind of adjust the tail. So what we need is like a method in here we need a method that says move. And we're going to pass in 3 parameters here that are all going to be doubles. Delta x, and then delta y, and delta z. And then we're just going to come down here and we're going to say tail x plus equals delta x. And by the way, I notice I have a property called delta x, but I also have a parameter. The parameter is local scope, so it actually has priority here. Tab to next reference shows you where all delta x, those delta x's are.
Oh.
So if I tab to next reference here, nobody's using it yet, so it doesn't go anywhere.
Why? Wait. Why isn't it? Why doesn't it count? Why doesn't it count the other delta x as the same?
Because it's not. We are declaring it because this has the word double in front of it. We're declaring it as a parameter. This has the word double in front of it. We're declaring it as a public property it's a read-only property.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to say tail x plus equals delta x. I'm going to say tail y plus equals delta y, and then hit Shift Enter for me on this line. And that should give me my tail z. Perfect. So I've done that. Then I'm just going to copy all of these, and I come down here and I'm going to paste them, but then use rectangular selection to delete this first word tail to just get to that. See what I did?
Yeah.
You do it. Try rectangular selection on most real lines of code.
Alt-Enter, right?
It's Alt plus the arrow keys.
Oh.
Alt-Shift. Alt-Shift.
Oops. Alt-Shift.
Yeah. There you go. And then delete.
Doop.
Perfect. So now we've just moved everything by that delta amount.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's not bad. That's one of the ones we want. But actually for this one, we want to move the tail to a particular point. X, Y, and Z. That's what we want to do. Oh no. Sorry about that. We were on my machine.
Oops.
I totally thought we were all good. Thanks so much, Copperbeardy. So we want to move.
So is Alt-Shift just specific to Visual Studio and CodeRush, or is it?
No, Alt-Shift is Visual Studio. It's Visual Studio's feature for selecting in rectangular selections. Now we want to move the tail to X, Y, and Z. Well, to find the tail, what we can do from here is we can call move, and we can pass in fact, I'm going to rename move, I think, to move relative. Like that. Okay?
Yes.
Move relative.
And
now what I want to do is I want to say, well, if I want to move the tail to X, and my tail of X is already at another place, I can simply say X, the place I want to go to, minus tail X as the delta X.
Oh, okay.
And then do the same thing here and then there, like that.
Okay. All right.
And that should move tail 2 should work. Now what that means is if we come back over to our other code in move vector 2, at this point we should be able to say, if we're here, we know that both super vector 1 and super vector 2 are both good. Defined and found. They're both good. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Because of this code right here, right?
Uh-huh.
Right? If it's null, we get out. If it's null, we exit the method. So here, if we get to this point, we know they're both good. So now we should be able to say, okay, super vector 2, move tail to super vector 1 dot x. That's where it's pointing to, right? Super vector 1, y, and z. Now, that's going to move the vector, but it's not going to move the unity object.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, we got to figure out how to move that Unity object. I want to find out where we create the Unity object. Let me drop a marker here. I think we create it down here. That's one of them. There's where we do the shaft. Create vector. Notice create vector takes all these properties from super vector. See it?
Uh-huh.
I want to make it static for a second. Any errors? One error, cone. Let's pass that in. I'm making it static because I'm going to move it, Campbell, in a second. I'm going to pass in cone right there. And we'll call this cone right here. That's of type game object. Is that what they're called? Am I getting that right? I think it's game object. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, wait.
I'm in the wrong spot.
You might want to scroll it up just a bit.
There it is, right there. Okay, now I got a static method that works. Now that I have static, I know it has no dependencies on this class. Right? I'm going to cut it to the clipboard. I'm going to go stick this over in SuperVector. SuperVector is now going to be able to create vectors. I'm going to make it public, like that. Add any missing methods. Shoot, where's instantiate located? I'm just going to type it in here and then drill into it. Where are you? Unity Engine is the namespace. Okay. Oh, we got Unity Engine already up here. Let's figure out math. Let's figure out why using system. Let's go look back at the other one. It could be it's in a different namespace. Unity Engine AI and UI are other ones we're not using. I bet it's AI. No, it says we're not using either of those. Where's instantiate? Oh, I know where instantiate is. Instantiate is a method. It's a method of the class we're inheriting from.
Oh.
That's what I believe, which is interesting because it looked like it was working already. Let me go back and paste it in as a static. Why? Oh, it's a static. It's a static method on game object.
It is?
I think that's what it's got to be. That's why it didn't need an instance.
Oh, I
to
didn't
work.
know that.
Okay, so that means we can put it over here. We just need to come in and say gameObject.instantiate. I bet this works. Cool. All right. Cool. We don't need either of those. Okay, now create vector. The call to create vector that we started with, Campbell, is like right here. It's passing in all these parameters, right? See all these?
Uh-huh.
What a mess, right? They're all coming. Every one of those parameters is coming from SuperVector, right? They're properties of SuperVector, right?
Uh-huh. Yes.
I'm going to delete them all. We're going to go back over into SuperVector here, and we're going to delete all these, like this.
Why? Don't we need them?
And we're going to use the actual properties we already had in SuperVector. So all we do is we create the SuperVector, then we tell the SuperVector to create the game object. And now it gets really, the code outside gets much easier, right? The super vector becomes this kind of super powerful, all-knowing object that can create game objects for us using its own parameters, right? That's what's happening. So now we've taken something that used to be a lot of code, right? Pretty heavy to, and now we've made it so no parameters are needed. We just need to give it the object, the prototype, the cone.
Uh-huh.
Let's see if it works.
Okay. Wait, we didn't save. Oops.
So do A equals 1, 2, 3.
A equals
And
enter.
hit her. Looks like it's still working.
Okay.
Still creating the vector, right?
We
Say
can't
A
find
dot
a vector
color.
named A though.
What'd you say?
We can't find a vector named A in the console.
Wait, you said that?
Look.
Okay. So, all right, let's fix that. That's because it was trying to see if it could find it, and I think at the very beginning, and it couldn't find it. So let's go find that error message.
And move it.
I don't want to remove it. I want to add
No,
an additional
move it.
parameter that says suppress error messages. So we type in VB here and say suppress errors, like that. And I'm going to set it equal to false by default. Okay? And then I'm going to say if it's null,
Wait,
and
isn't it just always by default false? If you don't set it equal to anything?
if I'm setting it here, it'll always be that. Now what I want to do is I want to suppress it in the right places. So let's look at where it's called. It's called in remove named vector, which is coming from here just to see if it already exists.
Uh-huh.
I want to see what it destroys. It's static too. That's sweet. All right, check this out. See where we're calling vectors.remove? See that?
Yeah.
Oh wait, supervectors.remove. That's in our list. Okay, hold on. I want to call supervectors.destroy. I'm sorry, not supervectors, but matching vector.destroy. Matching vector is of type supervector. That means, and I'm going to move this. See this destroy call here? I'm going to move that inside of here as well. So when we destroy a supervector, we destroy the object from the Unity space.
We won't be able to destroy matching vectors because we already removed it right before that, right?
Because what?
Because we already removed matching vector right before that, right? Or no?
But matching vector is this vector. So it's this game object property. So this makes it a little bit weird. This is my namespace, my class name, calling a static method on it. So it's like, you know, static class, but I'm passing in this thing, which is the property we defined up at the top, right here. I'm passing in the property. So you can see from the syntax highlighting that the language understands the difference between the two. Class reference, property. They're different colors,
Okay.
even though it's the same thing. So syntax highlighting is helping you. So cool, we've now got a destroy method right there. So the question is, remove named vector, I think, is the problem. Because no matter what, when we get a create or update super vector, we're gonna call remove named vector. We're only calling from this one spot. So I think I'm gonna pass in true here to suppress errors. That takes care of the problem you were talking about before.
Okay.
Let's see if there's any other calls we need to worry about. Change vector color. I'm going to suppress them here, I think, or no, I'm not. No, I'm not. Here, I definitely don't want to suppress it. Move vector 2, don't want to suppress it there, don't want to suppress it there. Yeah, it's only in that one spot in remove named vector that I want to suppress it. And if I wasn't really sure, I could actually pass it in here as another parameter. Suppress errors like this. So I have two different versions of remove named vector, but I have to specify whether I want to suppress them or not. And I can set a different default here if I wanted to. Suppress errors is equal to true.
Okay.
Like that. Okay. All right, let's run it and see if we've removed the error.
We gotta save it.
You also might want to add some default colors. Named colors so that they're there every time we start, because red's gone now. We have to redefine that red every time we test.
Yeah, we probably should.
Okay.
Oh.
Looks like it's still working. You okay?
Yeah, the error still is there.
Oh, it is? When you hit enter on it?
Yeah.
Let's take a look at the code. Game logic, right? Execute. It's coming from an execute command line. Create or update supervector. This is what we're calling. Whoops.
Dang it, I thought that would work.
Get vector color. Hold on. Get vector color. Could be doing it. Let's look at get vector color. There it is.
Oh.
So suppress errors will say true. Okay? Try it now.
Yes.
No errors.
No errors.
All right. Cool. Let's do A plus B.
Oops.
Type in A plus B right now.
I don't think it will work, will it?
Should see a message, error message.
Yeah.
Can't find the vector named A.
So if we have to set A equal to 1 space 2 space 3, and then also B.
Now try A plus B. Before you do it, don't define B yet. Say A plus B now.
I don't think it will work. I think
We're looking for the other error message
Yeah.
though. Can't find B. Hit enter.
Yeah. No. Uh-oh.
There was an extra space at the end of it.
Oh, there was?
Try it without the extra space. Now hit enter.
Yes.
There it is.
It worked.
Good. Okay.
So now if we set B equal to 4 space 5 space 6.
Now type in A plus B.
It already did it, I think.
Did you hit enter?
No, I didn't even have to hit enter.
Wait, we're not moving it. We still have to write the code to move the game object.
Oh, right.
Okay? Cool. Let's look at it. So we've now got code, supervector. I think what I want to do, I don't even want to pass in cone here, because it's really one object, right? That's all we've ever got. So what I want to do instead is I want to make cone be a property of this thing, supervector. And I think I want to, make this, call this, I'm going to call it vector prototype. Get rid of the word cone. Okay? Then what I want to do is I want to set this over in game logic at the right spot. So now we don't even need this. We won't need this anymore. It's just a simple create vector. In fact, since this is a super vector, I'm just going to turn it into the word create right there. Okay? And that's going to give me, oh, well, actually, let's say create game object. Because that's what it returns, right?
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, cool. Let's now in our start, I want to come in to our super vector. Oh, I wanted that to be a static property. Right now it's an instance property. If I add the word static, I can access it on the class and it's available for every instance. Does that make sense? So without the word static, I need an instance to set it or access it. But I don't need to create the prototype for every single super vector we build. I just need one of them out there. So I'm going to make it static so it's connected to the class. And so now if I come in here, I should be able to grab the vector prototype and set it equal to cone, which here is an instance variable. But we've only got one game logic created for the game when the game runs. So it's kind of like a static. There's only one of them. Does that make sense? I say kind of like a static. It's not like it in all the ways we differentiate, but it's only like it in the sense that there's one. There's only one of these. Okay, so I'm going to just set that up equal there, and I think it's still going to work. Let's see if it still works. Let's do a quick test, just see if we can say A equals 1, 2, 3, and make sure that's still working.
Okay.
Good. All right, go back to the code. Okay, we need to do the move to, right? We're working on that. We're kind of getting close to it. Supervector now has the ability to do a create. So move tail 2, we're going to call move relative. After we move relative, I think we're going to do this. Refresh unity vector or game object. What do you want to call it? This is what we're going to redraw. We're going to delete and create the new vector.
Yeah, game object or vector. Refresh vector.
Okay, refresh vector. Like that. So create that method, declare it. That's going to do two things. It's going to call destroy.
And it's going to call create.
And it's going to call create. I think it's that simple. It's called create, not create. It's called create vector. No, it's called create game object. That's what it is.
Yeah, okay.
And in which case we should maybe change destroy to destroy
game object.
Game object. Yeah, like that. So we've got some symmetry. Having symmetry in the names of things makes sense. Which also means maybe refresh should become refresh game object. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
You okay with that change?
Yeah, I'm fine. I have a question.
Yeah.
Just really quickly. How did they write code to write code? How did they write the code for Visual Studio?
Okay. My understanding is the first thing they did is they created a compiler to turn C# into an executable, is what they did. And I think they might have built that in assembly language or I'm not sure. But at some point, once they had that, they were able to then use C# to create a C# compiler, I believe. And then once they had that, then they were able to create Visual Studio using C# and the C# compiler using C#.
All right. Okay.
That's my understanding. Okay, so we've got refresh game object here. I think this is going to move it. I think there's going to be one surprising piece that we're going to see. It's kind of what I'm going to call an edge case bug that I'm anticipating. But let's try it. Let's see see if this works.
Saved? Yes. Oops.
Now the test for the move to is you're going to have to create a B, and then you have to say A plus B. And if we did it right, B is going to go to the end of A.
Oops, I meant 3, 2, 1, but no. Enter.
Okay.
And then A plus B. Oops.
I don't think it needs spaces. I think they're optional.
Oh.
Not bad. Not bad.
Wait, I want to see something.
Change to type in B plus A. You just do it on a new line.
A. Oh. Oh.
All right, do this. Set B's color to red. You don't have any named colors, so you're going to have to do the hex code.
Is that it? That's it, right?
Correct.
Uh-oh. Is that the edge case bug you were anticipating?
No, I thought this was going to work.
It didn't.
B.color did not work? What's it say down here? uncut reference exception. The object type game object has been destroyed, but you're still trying to access it. Let's go take a look. Let's go figure out where that is. Can we get can you click on the error in Unity and see where it is?
Yeah. Oh. Oh, dang it. It won't bring me to the code. It only brings me...
Can you scroll up? I want to see the first error that appears.
Oh gosh, there are a lot of them.
And double clicking there does nothing. What about that blue link right there? Assets like game logic, line 97.
There. What? That shouldn't be affecting anything.
Oh, look at this. See this?
Oh, unless it is because that's...
We need to call that
what the color
inside of create game object is what we need to do. Okay, so let's come over here. It's this. So this line of code is what we had before. We don't need that anymore, and it's really this thing right here is what it is. But because I'm just assigning that to that, I can really just come in here and change this line of code to this. I want to rename this, I think. I'm going to rename this to vector game object. Okay? So that's what I'm going to call it. So this is our property. We're just setting this here. And we're going to return the vector game object. But we don't really need to. I don't think anybody needs to use this anymore. We don't really care about this. Well, I guess we care about it for live vector purposes. I kind of want to get rid of live vector.
When? Wait, when do we need it?
What'd you say?
For live vector.
Why do we need it? The result, because we're creating a game object and live vector needs to have it so we can destroy it if it exists. Live vector destroys itself.
Okay.
I don't know. Okay, that's not the edge case bug, but let's try it now and see if we're any better. So to recreate, we got to create an A, create a B, add A to B, B to A, that sort of thing.
Wait, I want
Lazy is playing, says, hey, Mr. Cranston.
2, 3. Oops.
Got to get my hat. How you doing, Lazy is playing?
Enter. I just want to test something.
RGB. There you go.
Uh-huh.
So red is 15.
So that works. But now we need to try B equals.
Chatterbox Coder is rating with Party 21. Welcome, Raiders. Welcome, Chatterbox Coder.
B. And now.
Oh, Pudding comes in, interrupting Copperbeardy's party. Welcome, Raiders. We're working in C#. Let me switch over to Campbell's machine here for a second here. We're visualizing vectors, and we've got a kind of a command line app. You may have noticed, Campbell, that the white color of your vector looks like it maybe changed for a second when you moved it.
It did when I moved it because
yes.
Isn't that the bug?
That's the edge case bug that I was anticipating.
Well, isn't that the bug that happened last time?
No, the bug that happened last time, we got those errors down at the bottom, all those...
No, not last time. I mean last show.
No, this is totally different. This is different.
No, because whenever we would change the value of it, which we are changing the value of it, it wouldn't keep the color. That was the error.
Yeah, it looks like it on the surface, but it's a different error under the hood, is what I'll say. So what we want to do is we want to store the color in the super vector. So let's go back to the code and take a look at that. So that when the super vector recreates itself, it knows and remembers the color.
Okay.
That's at least my first take on this. That's what I'm thinking we want to do. Set vector color is here. Let's see, the next color, we got the next color from here, getting the vector color. I think we want to change this around in terms of how this works here. We ultimately get to the super vector and then the color. Notice this is static, meaning it has no dependencies on local variables inside of this class, which means I could take this, cut it to the clipboard, and put it over inside super vector. I can also, because we're relying on super vector passing it in, I could get rid of this parameter. See that, Campbell?
Yeah.
And everywhere we were using vector before, we just get rid of it because we've already got the property here locally. It's the only time it was used, we were using it. Get rid of the word static, it's now an instance method, make it public. So now I've got set vector color that takes it, and it does this, right? This is the code we had before, right? Where it just gets the mesh renderers from the game object and sets it to that color. Right, let's go fix the calling code, because we took things away and we kind of broke the calling code. Now instead of passing in matching vector, we're gonna call it like that. So there's my super vector, see it right there? Matching vector is a super vector, I'm just calling set vector color. Cool?
Oh yeah, okay.
All right, now, somewhere in here, I thought we were saving colors somewhere. Looks like we're just saving them, changing them in these two places here. Set color is there. Yeah, we have the two different ways of setting the color. No, I guess we're okay on that. So let me do one other thing. I want to do a search for the word color in here. See if we have any lists of colors. Here we go, color. No, wait, those are the color lookups. We just added those this morning. All of that. Find color, set name color.
Huh.
Get vector color. Ah. That just grabs the color from it if it already exists. Okay, cool. All right, cool. Here's another call to set vector color. All right, so we're just going to do set vector color that. Now here's what I want to do. I want to save this. I want to save this right here. So what I can do is I can hit the code rush key here, Campbell, and I can choose declare field with initializer on any parameter. And what that will do is it'll declare a new field and look at the preview. See right here, it says this.color is equal to color.
Yeah.
It will add that line of code right here inside of move relative, or, well wait, not move relative, it's down below that, but it'll add that line of code right here. So we do that, I'm gonna hit enter on that. It's gonna ask me where do I wanna put it. I'll put it there. And now I have, there it is right there, this.color. See it? So now I'm storing it locally. And the cool thing about storing it locally is now when we call create game object right here, we can have that stored variable if it exists and pass it into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, hey, if not null, then I'm going to set the color. So we'll remember the color when we destroy and recreate.
Okay.
Okay, you seem pretty chill about that. Let's run it and see what it looks like. Copper Beardy's flying. Let's see if it works. And I think next we got to add some predefined colors. So we had some colors out there. Okay, A is equal to 1, 2, 3. B is equal to 4, 5, 6 or something. Okay, fine. And now say A plus B. Change the color of one of them. Okay, so that means A is
No, and then we have to do B plus A, right?
Well, you first have to change the color because it's black by default.
Right, that's what
You got to change the color. So let's say A.color.
Oops.
We could also do A minus B. I just realized we can have them go backwards too.
Oh.
A dot color is equal to red. Okay, now do B plus A. Or you know what? Let's create a new C vector. Throw a C vector out there. Because we're not going to be able to see it when that goes away.
What did I just do?
I don't know, but I just hit shit. Oh, yeah,
Okay.
just something. I don't know.
I wasn't.
You
at
hit
the
maybe
end.
enter. There you go. There. We can't see it. It's far. It's behind the thing now.
No, we can see it though. It's black.
It's black?
Yeah.
I think it's red. That's a dark shadow. Give me a C. Give me a new C and then type in C plus A.
Oh, it is red.
Sweet. So it worked. Nice job going to this view. Yeah, that shadow's pretty
It
black.
just looked black.
Yeah.
And it wasn't our shadow. It was its own shadow, kind of.
Okay,
It wasn't really facing the light.
cool.
This
Let's go back to our checklist and see how we're doing. We've done this one. We've done these 3 now so far.
We have.
Okay, now I want C is equal to A plus B to create a single vector from tail of A to the head of B.
Okay.
That's what I want. Switch over to Campbell's machine. You can already see my purple vision. He started up the regex tool we built.
Okay. So.
You might want to maximize this or let us at least see more of the code
Alright.
in this.
So
Okay,
now
so
we need one of those. Oops. And then we need that. And then we need angle graphics and. Oops. Wait, why does that work? Oh wait, I don't need this open paren, do I? Oh, no, I need a closed paren now after. And then here, I need something to say C. Okay. Well, that's not it, but C.
So if you're seeing this for the first time, this is a tool Campbell and I wrote 2 weeks ago, I think maybe? A week ago and a half?
Yeah, maybe
Something
2 or
like
3
that.
weeks ago.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And it helps us build regex patterns, and it also generates code for us, C# code, so we can then work with the text, and we really don't have to think about the pattern too much. Really, Copperbeard? Copperbeard, you just dropped something on me, man.
okay. So,
What are you going to call that?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Vector sum? Like SUM, maybe?
Okay, maybe.
Or
Vector
new
sum.
vector, you could call it.
Yeah.
New vector name. New vector name, maybe.
New vector.
All right, so new vector name.
Backslash W.
Not 0 or more.
Oops. Yes, one or more.
1 or more.
Okay, and then we need here. Space. Optional.
0 or more spaces.
An equal sign.
Yeah.
And then a space that is also optional.
Okay. And then,
And that works, right? Yeah.
yeah.
New
So we've
vector
got,
name.
yeah, there you go. New vector. Maybe,
Oh, what?
new vector name is C, vector 1, and
Oh
vector
wait,
2.
we need
Yeah.
a different class name.
I think that works. I think it's all work. Oh yeah, different class name, right? Okay. So this is going to be vector sum, or new vector from new vector sum 2 vectors. What about sum SUM 2 vectors? Because we'd have another one for summing 3 vectors, I suppose, if we wanted to create that. Or maybe just sum vectors. I like sum vectors. Because we could theoretically change this
to make it
regex to support many more.
we probably could do it.
Like you could do this if you wanted to. Can I grab it a second?
Yeah.
You could let's see, from the plus, from here to here, you could take that and now put some set of parens in here, paste it in, make it vector 3, and make this part optional right here. Say that there's 0 or more of, I don't know if I want to do 0 or more.
0 or 1, right?
I'll just say 0 or 1, like 0 or 1 of that is what I'll say. And so now what I think that means is I can come in here and say plus D, and there we go, it's found vector 3. So I could have, you know, several of these. I could take this and throw it in there a few more times if I wanted to.
Yeah.
From there to there. And then pop it in one more time, call that a 4. And then pop it in one more time.
Call that
and a 5. And now we've got kind of a something that can now take plus E, plus F, and there we go. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it could do that if we wanted to. Sure, why not? All right, so you want to copy that?
I don't see any harm in doing it.
Kibble doesn't see any harm in doing that. Good luck.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
It's okay.
All right, so Kibble's creating a new script, giving it a good name, Some Vectors. Double clicking. Where is it? Did you double click it?
Yeah, I did, I think.
Try it again.
Oops.
I see super vector, but I don't see some vectors.
I thought I double clicked it.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so online, yeah, you can use selection increase to select and destroy it. Paste it, get rid of the regex helper. You don't need that, you already got one. Selection increase here and then delete. Good, and control dot, use it. Go ahead and choose enable up at the top there. Okay, cool. Now what do we do now that we've got some vectors in here? Where are we going to put that?
We are going to put that in command line, execute command line.
Right, exactly. Copy to clipboard. Copy before, so that you've got some vectors on the clipboard. There you go. Before you get out of here, so you don't have to type all that in again.
Oops.
Okay, so find our execute. There, looks like it's it right there.
Here? Yeah.
Yeah. So let's just do this. Can I do one thing here? I just want to take this, just put an extra line right there. I would just do that. Just duplicate the line, work with that.
Control V. Enter. Oops, that's not what I meant to do.
All right, and now we don't want to call move vector 2. We want to call a method, you know, add all vectors or something like add all vectors, something like that, or sum all vectors. Probably sum all vectors is what we would do. Let's do that. Okay, cool. And then the parameters we want to pass in, we actually want more than just these.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, should I have deleted that?
You can keep it actually, but we want one before this. I think we want we want to add a parameter before this. That's going to be the name of the thing to create. So if we come in here and we paste that in right there, we should see a property called new vector name. I want that first. Then what I want you to do is come in here like this. I think if you just select just the 2 and hit Shift Enter, try hitting Shift Enter now. Oh no, it didn't get it. All right, never mind. Undo, 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 undo. Select all the way to the comma. Try that. Try Shift Enter there.
Enter.
There you go. Shift Enter. And one more time, I think we go to 5.
5, yeah.
Hit 5, right? You can hit Enter. All right, now let's declare sum all vectors.
Yeah.
Generate method. There you go. If you hit the tab key, you should tab into it. All right. So now we want to create a new vector. Let's go look.
Wait, there's something wrong. Okay. Okay.
Tell me, what'd you say?
No, that's it. It was just we weren't zoomed all the way, or we weren't on the right side.
Okay.
All the way out
Need to
there.
be scrolled over. How are we creating a new one here? Create or update super vector. Here we get, this gets the next color. Get vector color. I don't even think we need to do this special thing anymore here. Add named vector. So we need to call add named vector, passing in the super vector we create.
Oh! Oh! That's pretty good code.
Oh noes! Cody Gorilla asks, what's your super vector, Super Victor? It's a reference to a movie called Airplane, which I don't think you've seen yet, Campbell. I don't think you've seen that.
Nope, does not sound familiar.
Okay, so we need to create a new super vector, is what we need to build. And then we need to call create game object on it, is what we need to do. We could call refresh game object. I want to do one check here. If not null here, then come down there. All right. We could call refresh game object on it is what we could do. All right, so let's do this. Let's go to, I guess it's game logic. I want to take execute command line. I'm just going to cut this, Campbell. I'm going to move it to the bottom of the file because this is something that we're going to be working on a lot. So I want to put this thing that we change a lot down at the bottom. So sum all vectors. Let's go inside sum all vectors. And I think we're going to do this. New super vector, like that. Declare local super vector. We said that we had to call something at the end of this whole thing. Add named vector. So at the very end of this, we're going to call add named vector passing into super vector. We want to say super vector dot name, vector name is equal to new vector name. We're going to set some properties here for it is what we're going to do. Okay, with me?
Yeah.
So far? Okay, its tail x is equal to vector1 dot tail x. Oh, sorry. I got to find vector1. This isn't the vector yet. This is just the name of the vector. So remember all of this code up here?
Yeah.
We need this. We need at the very least two. We need super vector 1, super vector 2. If we don't have those two, then we got to get out. Okay, if we can't find them, we're going to report the errors and get vector by name. So we're going to be good there and there. We then have optional super vector 3. I'm going to use Code Rush. Go ahead and duplicate this line 2 more times to get me 4 and 5. You're going to probably have to change the first one, and then we'll get 5 after that. You don't have to select it if you're just duplicating the line.
Oh.
And then change that to 4. And then get me a 5 from that. Hit undo. There you go. Change it to a 4. And then duplicate now. Shift enter. There you go. And then enter. And okay, cool. So now those are optional. Those might be a null, those might not be null. And so now what I want to do is I want to say vector name. So now I want to say super vector. This is going to get to super vector 1 dot tail x, like that. Then I'm going to duplicate line, change it to a y, and duplicate line, get it to z. Okay, so we just set up the tail. All right.
Okay.
Now we got to see what does it point to. Okay. So. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
Oh.
But neither looks as good as the sunflower. Pudding can be taught to create a gorilla. A gorilla can be taught to make pudding. Oh man. I didn't see the speech bubbles. Do those work or fail? Thanks everybody for getting us back on the right track over there. Okay, tail X. We've just transferred all the tails. Now what we want to do is move the head too. So I want to say, I think I want a new method in here that says move head relative. And the relative amount I want to pass in is the delta X, delta Y of super vector 1. Tail X. Oh, no. It's not that. The very first one is going to basically do this. So I'm now setting before I sum anything, I set super vector equal to the first one. Okay? Remember, that's the point of the arrow of the cone. You got that? That's the point. X, Y, and Z is the point. Now I want to take that and extend that point, move it relative. So now I want to call super vector dot move head relative, and I want to pass in no, I'll just say sum. I'll just say add. And I'm going to pass in super vector 1. Like that. And add, taking another vector, is going to do this. It's going to say x equals, plus equals, super vector 1 dot delta x. And then y is that, and z is that. So it's adding the deltas of it. All right. Also, see this code here? That's a lot of code that should just be in super vector. So we're just going to say set move or match set to, and I'm just going to pass in this here and take all of that code. This is going to make this summing code look a little smarter, I think, look a little easier to read. All of this, we need super vector before, now they're just properties inside. I don't need the number 1 here. I don't need the number 1 here. These are just, this could be any super vector we pass in. So now set to takes another vector in and just make sure that our tails and x's are, our tail position and our cone position are exactly the same.
Oh.
But doesn't change the color. Add takes only the cone end and adds the delta of the other vector, is what add does. So now what we can do is we can now come in here, duplicate this line, change this to a 2, duplicate, 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 like that, and then go into one more change in here. Just basically say, hey, if it's null, then get out. If super vector is null, exit. Don't try to add anything because we won't be able to do it. And now we've got our add, and then we call add name vector. There's, I think, something else we have to do, and that's refresh. I think it's refresh game object, but we can't see it because I think it's private.
Is it? I thought we made it public.
I don't remember, which means it defaults to private. Where's, here we go. Let's tab to the next reference on here. Yeah, it's private because it doesn't specify anything, so now it's public. Okay, so now we got refresh game object. That's just going to rebuild it. Let's go back to where we were.
Escape, escape, escape.
There it is, right there. Okay, I think that's going to work. Try running that and see if that works.
Okay.
And what's cool about that now is we could add in a plus b plus c plus d plus e if we wanted to, and I think it'll work. Let's see if it works. Let's do something simple.
A space.
You're doing uppercase A, so it's case sensitive.
Oopsies.
I hope I don't have a bug in there because I'm thinking it might be hard to
My
find.
caps lock
Don't forget,
on.
end and home are your friends.
Nope, they don't work here. Oh, what?
They didn't work when you had multi-line strings. I think you had that problem, right?
Enter. B space equals.
Gorilla's chatting with Copper Booty about gorillas. Oh man, that's cool. World's sexiest gorilla. All right. All right. What do we got?
I know.
So let's do C equals A plus B. And now I'm looking for a vector that connects from the end of one.
Oh.
It's too long.
And it doesn't appear to be in the right place. Huh. Yikes. Wait, can I just C dot color equals bang. Oops. Yep, not in the right place. I mean, yes, it starts from
I think I know what I did
0,
wrong. I think I'm adding an extra A in there. Can I go look at it? Can we go look at the, because it looks like it's off by A, doesn't it?
But it's also not in the right place. It's not facing the right place.
Because it's off by A. A points in that direction.
Oh, yeah.
I think I added A to the first one to it too many times. Can we go back and look at that code?
Yeah.
Here, let's go look at the code.
Elementary.
That's my problem. See that?
Oh.
If I take that out, let's rerun it.
Wait,
Stop it and rerun it.
before we do anything, can
Yeah, go ahead. Copy all that. Good idea.
Control C.
Now run it. I think now it's going to work. You have to hit enter off after each line to make it work.
So.
And end doesn't work here. Ugh, how frustrating that is.
What?
Remember, end doesn't work when you've got multi-lines. So what you can do as a shortcut is watch this. Down arrow, then left.
Down and then left?
Yeah, no. Stop. Okay, can I show you?
Yeah.
Look. Down and then left. See it? How it goes to the end of the line? Down and then left.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
Got it. Enter.
There you go, good. And now do this one. This is one that failed before. I think it's gonna work now. Totally worked. Change its color so we can see it. Now type in C plus A. We should see A pop to the end of C.
Woo!
Now type in A plus C and we should see C pop to the end of A. Sweet. Whoa!
Whoa!
Why did we get an extra one?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if that's a bug or not.
We should only have A, C, and B.
Can we start and rerun it? I want to kind of, I'd like to see how to, I want to see if there's, because you might have hit enter or something and we didn't know it. And I just want to, I want to try to understand that. You just hit enter there. So see, you just hit enter there on C.
Is that, should I?
Well, it tried to do A plus B, but there was nothing there for it.
Yeah.
Oh wait, we did have an error there. We can't find a vector named A, so maybe that was okay. I think that was maybe okay. All right, so let's do, okay, now change the color. That didn't seem to work.
It didn't.
Says we can't find a vector named nothing. That was when you were hitting enter on the line with
enter. Yeah, it appears to not work.
Can I try something? I want to try adding something new. I want to say D is equal to -4, 5, 6. Okay. D.color is equal to blue. Okay, that is clearly working. C plus D, D plus C.
It seems to just not register C.
How do we, for a second, I want to change to the other view. Can you bring me to the other view? I want to see if we've duplicated the bug. It did work.
Oh.
But it's just that thing is stuck out there. So when we do the sum, we're creating an extra one, an extra game object, it looks like. Let's go see if I can figure that out, figure out why we're doing that when we do the sum. New super vector here. We create a new super vector. We just created called constructor. There's no specific constructor here. Okay. Refresh game object. Add named vector. What's add named vector doing? Just adds it to our list. Sum all vectors. Oh, I think I know what's happening. Remember our regular expression? Hold on. We have some vectors, but we also have, I think it's move vector. This one?
Yeah?
Oh, no, maybe not. Move vector, I was thinking, didn't end with the, I was thinking maybe we're matching this, but it's looking for this at the beginning of the line, at the end of the line. It's looking for that pattern. So that's not the problem. I was thinking maybe move vector was getting called. I think we should do this. Let's attach to Unity and let's debug it. So I kind of need to see what's going on with the code. All right, so we're debugging. Let's create a couple of those things. So A equals 1, 2, 3. B equals 4, 5, 6. C equals A plus B. And before I hit enter, I'm going to set a breakpoint in our execute command line. And I'm going to step through it and see what happens. Okay? Because I think this is where we have the problem. So, no, 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 yes. So sum all vectors. Oops, hit up 10. All right, fine. So I'm just going to run that for a second. So now the question is, how many of these do we have? Looks like we only have 3, which is what we're supposed to have. So the problem isn't necessarily maybe here. What happens if I come in and say C equals A plus B again? Breakpoint?
We can't find a vector named nothing.
And we got an extra vector. We're not finding and deleting the existing vector. When we hit this, if we got a C, we're not checking to see if there's already one out there. So we need to do that. That's one bit of change in the code that we need to make. Let's work on that change right now. So sum all vectors. We need actually a super vector 0 up here, kind of essentially. Get vector by name, that. And then we're going to say, if not null, then we're going to call destroy game object on it, like that. And then I think the other thing we want to do too is we want to remove it from, we want to make a call to remove named vector. So like this, remove named vector. It looks like we already got it. It's looking for a name. I think it's a simpler thing If it's null, then it will get out. Otherwise, we will call destroy game object. Cool. So we just want this like this. We don't need to write this code. We can just do this, and it'll do all that for us. Let's see if this makes it better, Campbell. So we're just getting rid of it. C's already exists. We're going to get rid of it.
Okay.
I'll run through the steps to duplicate. What'd you say?
Isn't that what we were doing before, though?
No, we never called remove on it. We only called remove from another method. You want me to type this in real quickly?
I was doing it.
Go ahead.
I think your mouse was just on my
Go
screen
ahead.
somewhere else.
All right, so we got A equals 1, 2, 3. B equals something else.
Oops.
Equals.
Nope. Oops.
And now type C equals A plus B. Hit enter and go to the end of the line, the previous line. So left arrow from down below, left arrow, there you go. Hit it again.
Hit enter.
Yep. This is what before created an extra one. Now type in A plus C. No, wait. Type in C plus A. That'll move C over by A. And yeah, go back up to A equals C plus B. Hit enter on that again. C equals A plus B. At the end of this line. Hit enter. Yeah, look, we're not getting extras.
Woohoo! That's good.
C is equal to A plus B. Yeah, that looks right, because there's A out there. Okay, cool. Let's do some named colors. We've got 3 minutes left. Let's get some named colors in real quickly. Okay? And that's going to look like somewhere up here we've got...
Should we stop debugging?
Yeah. Say debug detach. Detach all. Good job. All right, so let's go find those colors. I'm just going to color. Named colors is what I thought we called them, right? Named. Set named color. No, no, no. We use this here. Change vector color. Color lookups. That's where it is here. So let's do this. In my start method, I want to go in and say color lookups dot add. And I want to start putting a string here. This is the key that we index on. So I'll say red, and then I'm going to come over here and pass in the HTML for this, which is F00. See what I'm doing? Then I'm going to come in and do blue.
Blue 00F.
Let's make these lowercase. Is that cool with you?
Yeah.
Okay, blue is going to be 00F, and then green.
And then we might also do a white.
You betcha.
Maybe.
And let's do a white. Do a white, and that's FFF. And if we wanted a gray,
it's wait, would it be F0F or no?
No, it's going to be half of F, which is about 8. This is hexadecimal, so F means 15, so 8 is about half of 15, like that, or 7. I can do all 7s. So there, we've got some cool ones now. Let's run it.
Wait, so would black is just 000? Right?
Yes. You want to do black too? We can do black.
No, because
black.
it's already the default.
Yeah, okay, but we won't be able to change it back to black without adding it. So it's useful to add it.
Okay.
Let me get a raid going here. Get raid started. Thanks everybody for joining us today. Thanks, Coding Gorilla. Shwane says, how are you guys? Some coding awesome. Thanks, Shwane. Shwane. There we go. Make that 000.
Then 1, 2, 3.
Okay. All right. Save.
I tried.
Save. There you go.
All right.
Run. Alt tab may be faster than hands on the keyboard. All right, we're getting through the list. I'll come soon and I'll show you what we've done on the list so far. We did this, this, and this today. Tomorrow we're going to be doing vector multiplication. We'll add hide, delete, and show. Maybe do vector subtraction as well. I'm kind of looking forward to that. I like the vector subtraction. And maybe even if we multiply, we can multiply by -1, which means flip it. All right, back over to Campbell. How's it going here? What are we doing?
It's worked with most colors so far.
Okay, cool. So just come in there and say color is equal to black. Good. Red. We need a purple in there. But we can define, can you show us how to define purple? I'm going to find an HTML color. I'm going to go to color lookup.
Wait, one sec.
HTML color lookup and find a nice purple here. Get a Twitch purple.
Yeah, that works.
HTML color picker. Back over to my machine. Let's get you like a
Purple.
cool Twitch kind of purple. Somewhere in that space right there. I got you. I got it. I got it. I'm going to come over here and paste it for you on your machine. And I said it was good. There it is right there. Go ahead and hit enter on that.
And then here. Oh, right. You just hit enter.
And then come up there and hit purple.
Purple? Wait, I want to try one thing.
You might want to save that as the one I pasted. You might want to put that in the code. Without the pound sign in front of it though.
That's right. Oh wait, actually, I'm just gonna just for example, does our code support this?
Oh, you just
No.
made purple. No, it's not going to change now because the name colors are linked up. But if you go back
Oh
and
right, and
you
then
hit
we
enter
have
on
to-
that line, now it will. Not that line, on the line above that.
Yeah, here, and then we hit enter.
Yes, hit enter
Yeah,
now,
okay.
and now it'll go white.
Got
You
it.
want to try it? See,
Yeah.
you made purple white.
All right. I was just checking to see if our code supported that.
Yeah.
We should add
can,
purple, I think.
we can make it so we can connect the two together so that purple is a living thing and connected to it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we could do
So-
that if you want.
No, it's fine. It's okay. I don't think we need it. Like, it's just hitting enter one extra time.
All right. We'll send you over to InstaFluff. Oh, something went wrong. Try
Wait,
running
should
it.
we add purple to the code?
Yeah.
As one of them?
Yeah, why don't you do that?
I don't have it copied to the clipboard though, so you're gonna need to. I think.
You're going to have to do a manual rate here. It should be on the clipboard still. Duplicate this line.
Oh, maybe. Purple? Oh, it is. Okay.
You cannot raid this channel. Why am I having trouble raiding? Let me refresh over here. Alright, so that's there. Got purple. I'm testing this. I'm trying to do the raid again. Something went wrong. Try running that quick action again. Later. So no raiding.
Purple? That works.
Yeah,
Okay,
the
so
purple.
all the colors work.
You cannot
I
raid
don't
this
think I missed
channel.
any of them. Let me check.
I'm not sure why I can't raid, kids.
I did red, blue, green, white, gray, black, and purple. Yep, I did all of them. I tested it.
Cool. All right. You cool, Campbell? Good day. Did you feel satisfied with what we did?
Yeah.
Okay. And we'll see you kids tomorrow. Apologies not able to raid you guys. Instafluff's out there. I'll try one more time, I suppose. Let's try Lanalex and see if I can send you there. Oh, Lana's working, so I'll send you over to Lanalex. Maybe Instafluff stuff going or something like that. See you, Coding Gorilla. Thanks so much. See you guys tomorrow.
Okay.